All right, so now let's talk about how do we work through problems. We know that we're all human and we are taking care of people that are human and have a progressive disease. So problems are going to come up, challenges are going to come up, and what we want to do is learn how to work through them and make changes so that we aren't making the same mistakes over and over again. Now, what I'll say is once we figure out this problem, there will be another one down the road. So learning how to work through this process is really key to success, to a supportive environment, and also to our sanity, because we don't want to feel like we are doing something wrong, that we are just always having the struggle. We want to work together as a team. So the way that we like to do this at Prairie Elder Care is we use something called the Adult Experiential Learning Cycle. I learned this from my friend Teepa Snow, and the reason that we use it is because people learn different ways. And so this is a way that we can all kind of benefit from that experience and implement it, because it's one thing to listen and say, yes, I understand, but it's another thing to actually be able to put it into action. So here's an example of how it might work. The first thing we want to do is we want to have an experience. So one thing that I know from working with people living with dementia for a long time is that certain things can be triggers for these challenges. We know that we're just trying to help them in the bathroom, but if you're in that situation and the person that you're working with is saying, help, you're killing me, stop, you're hurting me. We know, I think one thing that we kind of feel is when I've been in that situation, I feel like, A, I'm not trying to kill you. So that's first thing. You're not trying to kill them, you're trying to help them. You're trying to make them feel more comfortable. You're trying to meet an unmet need. But from their perspective, what's happening is their amygdala is like, oh my gosh, something bad is happening. I'm in fight or flight mode. So either they're going to be punching or they're going to try to get away from you because it doesn't feel good and they aren't able to process through that. So understanding where they're coming from. It feels to them like you are trying to hurt them and you're not trying to hurt them, and you don't want to get through that situation feeling like you've been through a battle. So the next thing you need to do is when you've had one of those situations, think, okay, so where am I coming from? How was my day? Am I in a good situation? Did I sleep well? Have I had what I needed to meet my needs for the day? Have I just come from another situation where I felt like I've been in this struggle, or am I in a good place? And then the other person that you're working with, the person living with dementia, are they feeling like they are being attacked? Have they had other issues? Have they been in pain? Have they had a good night's sleep? Have they had something to eat and drink? All of those things. So where are they coming from? Next, you want to think about what's their level of dementia, like where are they in the GEMS process? We know that someone that is an emerald is more on the go, moving, all of that. If you're an amber, you're going to be a lot more sensory. So that's a lot of times when we see people having more of that battle in the bathroom and those type of things, because it all is based on how does it feel? How does it, how does their senses come into play? So we know visually they are down to this. Words, we're really decreasing the number of words, and we're going to really have to rely more on that positive approach, utilizing our hand under hand skills rather than words, and all of that before we go into touch, because we know if sensory, that is huge. The private areas are places that we get into some challenges with that. So thinking through how we might do that again is really important. And then I think we also have to remember that it's just a trial and error. Like, we have to really try something. If it doesn't work, we try something again. So I think that's really important, is to think through, is what I'm trying successful? If not, don't keep doing the same thing. Like, think about, could we try a different time of day? Could we try a different setting? You know, what are the things that we do have control over that we can adjust, because we're the ones that have to change. We can't rely on the other person to do that.